Grand evening, everyone. Welcome to Silvertree Seeds. This is the second rune reading, or I believe it's the third rune reading. Not quite sure. Oh my goodness, I can't really recall. But this is the official rune reading for the full moon in Leo in January 2021, and I welcome you here in this space. So let's get right into it. I hope everyone is having a merry full moon. A lot's going on, since the last time we spoke. Today is Thursday, and I promised that I would make these videos every Wednesday. However, I've kind of had a tower moment past few days, and so I'm kind of off schedule, but I promise you in the near future that will not happen again. I'll try to get these out every Wednesday, the day of Mercury. Mercury is the god of messaging, or he was the divine messenger. He would deliver the messages between, the demigods and the gods, and between man and gods and other entities and spirits and whatnot. So anyway, I meditated for about 15 minutes before I pulled this rune. And just another disclaimer, all the runes that I've made are from my own design. They come directly from source. So everything that I have etched out came through deep spiritual energy work, and they're all handmade. The wood that I was called to use it's called the cherry. It's a type of cherry tree. I believe, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's called the choka cherry. This summer, or that last summer in 2020, I had a beautiful opportunity to work on a homestead where it was a vegetable homestead. So their main focus was herbs and vegetables and some fruits, but they had a lot of choka cherry trees. And so the bark, as you can see here, this is where I chopped a branch down, and then I took it to the sawmill and made my own little runes from hand. So I feel called from spirit to anything that I use, any spiritual tool you'll see that I use here. They'll be handmade, minus the selenite crystal and the candle you see here. But eventually, all of the tools that I use will be made with intention and directly from the earth. So let's get right into the reading. Now, as you can see, and you know what, I think a lot of the energy that's come from the previous year, 2020, is spilled into 2021. Of course, we're going through a significant change and shift in our society, in our culture, in our political, religious, social, economic ways of being, right? And so we're all going through our I guess you can say a tower moment as a human collective. But this rune I pulled, which I find a little funny, but I pulled this one here. As you can see, it's in the shape of a numerical 3, a Roman numerical, not numerical, Roman numeral 3, but obviously there's a lot more going on here. So this rune, this symbol, this sigil is symbolic for, if you can recall, there's another one. It's the 2, right? And then it has the same symbol on either side. This one has an extra bar there. Now we can count the energies here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energies. So these 7 energies, and 7 is the divine number. Okay, it's a very high vibrational number. It's highly, highly, highly very spiritual energy that's taking place for the human collective. Now you're wondering, well, Naja, what's the deal with this? Why do you say that this kind of this symbol, this sigil represents or is symbolic for a tower moment? Well, in the last sigil that I pulled, that was the main focus. There was just the 2. But as you can see, there's a 3 here. There's a third bar in the middle there. And with that 2, that meant that, oh, you know, I think if I can recall correctly, there are 2 hands, 2 people holding hands, right? But this one has an extra cord, okay? Extra energy cord between the two persons holding hands, as you can see, okay? So let's just break down the energy. So I have it here in this side up here. So you see that there's a portal and there is a person standing there. Then you see the moon on the left side and the sun on the right. So the left meaning the left path, the unconscious, the shadow path, or, you know, the unknown, you know, what's kept secret, what is hidden. And then you have the sun, which is revelation. It's masculine energy, it's externalized energy, it's light, everything that is known and conscious to the world, the right hand, the right path, right? And then you have the figure in the middle, and you have this portal here. Now, at this point, this figure could be you, okay? It could be you. You're choosing to not take the left path or the right path, but your own path, okay? Your own path. And that's pretty intense. It can be very, very intense because you're kind of letting go of what doesn't serve you, but you're seeing possibilities. You see the sun energy. You're seeing all the potential and possibilities of going one way, and then you have a sense of the unknown, of things that haven't fully manifested, that are secret and hidden within yourself. And then you see this doorway wide open, and it's you. So this could be you standing there, or it could be you meeting you, or it could be an obstacle standing there in the way. So you're saying no to this path, you're saying no to that path, and the only way to get through this door of unlimited potentiality is to face this figure. Now, I have this belief system that anything outside yourself is just a reflection of yourself, the self. Nothing outside yourself has power over you. Only you can choose to give away that power. So sometimes this could be anything from a relationship or trauma, childhood trauma. It could be a financial obstacle. It could be emotional. It could be spiritual. It could be something that is like it's in your way, and the only way is to walk through it. Right? You can pull, and you see here, this is the shadow energy and then the light energy, and we can pull from both of these sources to neutralize whatever's in the middle. I'm going to repeat that again. You can, when you have an understanding of your shadow self and your understanding of your light self, or your light body, or your higher consciousness and lower consciousness, in the middle, you can use both forces to neutralize whatever obstacle is in your way. Because here's the thing, when we only focus on our higher aspects of our consciousness, and we neglect the hidden, the secrets, the trauma, or the things that are unknown to us consciously, we just kind of forget about it, and then we have this big, huge block here in our path. It can sometimes be overwhelming. You're like, well, I'm practicing all this love and light. I'm practicing all of these positive affirmations. What's wrong? How come I can't get through this block here? And lo and behold, you're forgetting a piece of yourself. and vice versa. You know, some of us can be addicted to the healing. Like there will always be something to heal. Some of us are avoidant of the trauma. Sometimes those traumas just kind of take over. Anything I'll say this, anything that is of love that forgets itself, it becomes inverted, okay? It becomes part of shadow, right? It can become evil in a way. It becomes imbalanced energy. And so you have no connection to your light source. And so you're standing here trying to face this obstacle, but you're too scared to look in the mirror. You're too scared to look at the shadow. And this obstacle is telling you, hey, you need to look at this, accept this, so that you can neutralize me and get through me. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I'm going to continue. So that's what I'm seeing here with the collective. It's that we're facing our obstacles, and it's this great realization that once you know that you claim, I am shadow, I am light, I am both, right? And then you say, well, I am this as well. I am beyond this limitation. I'm beyond this obstacle here standing in my way. I am that I am. This is me. I am it. There is no separation. Because as you can see, the dominant energies, you have the figure here in the middle, and you have the shadow, or you have the moon, you have the sun, and they are split. But you must realize that you are all things simultaneously. I'm going to shift the energy here. So now, after that interpretation, what do you see? I see a bed. I see someone laying here. And now this is when the concept of dark night of the soul can come in, or you have in tarot language, you have the tower moment. I see a figure sleeping and resting, I should say, okay? And they're accessing the subconscious mind. So this is their waking world, right? This is their job, their, all the things they do in their waking, conscious, physical reality. And then you have the subconscious mind, right? The subconscious mind, they're resting here. And when you are going through a tower moment, when you are going through dark night of the soul, when you're going through a very big, you're meeting this figure here, okay? Your worlds begin to meet. They begin to intermingle. Because people are like, oh my gosh, why am I going through this? Why? I don't understand why I'm going through this, such a challenge. I don't get it. Because you have parts of your hidden self coming up into they're manifesting into your conscious reality. Most of the time when we go to bed, this is it. This is us. We're like, oh, I'm tired. I want to rest. Let me enter into La La Land. Okay? And so we leave this world and we then enter into the hidden parts of ourselves. But very seldomly and rarely do we take what's here in the subconscious mind and bring it up into our conscious reality to help us evolve. So at sometimes the things that we're most scared of, that we don't want to look at, they'll harbor and fester in our subconscious mind. And then they'll manifest make their way into the layers of our consciousness, into our physical reality, into light. So again, I see layers. You can look at this in a way of ascending to the light, or ascending to the light or descending to shadow, okay? Or maybe you're, ascending into a shadowy part of yourself in your life, right? Because sometimes in our dream worlds, everything's going great, and up here, it's not. There are many people that are going through a lot right now in their physical form. And subconsciously, they're escaping into the higher dimensions of themselves. They're literally, when they rest, every time we rest our bodies, we leave our bodies. Our souls, we travel around, you know, picking up things, doing things. And on occasion, we remember our quote unquote dreams, but we're really traveling into other dimensions and other aspects of ourselves. We're multidimensional beings, so we're actually very active when when we're resting. So ooh, I also see a split here. I see a major split. This just occurred to me. So not only do I see the figure, so there's a figure, it could be you, your shadow self, your light self. There's something there for us as a human collective. But I also see two paths, very distinct. I see a wall here in division. Okay? Now, here's the trick. This is very tricky energy here. Okay? This is meant for, I think this time right now we're meant to pause and really look and reflect during this time. As you can see, you have always a choice. You have a choice to make. You can avoid, okay, avoid this, avoid whatever obstacle this is, right here, this person, this energy. And energy can be in any form. It could be in a human, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be anything. But here, you have a choice here to either, you can walk into the unknown. Wherever you're vibrating, whether it's just, you know, fear, it could be confusion, it could be, my point is, don't avoid this. Meet with it. Neutralize it. You know, if you only go one way and focus on this energy, you know, it can turn into a block. When we dive too deep into, I guess, our shadow parts of ourselves, we can get stuck there. There's no light in sight that can give you, you know, like with the candle, with the flashlight, you're walking down the path, the sun has gone down, and you have and you have to use the light, right? You have to use your inner light to find your way. You have to use that inner guidance to find your way back again. But we have to be very careful that if we choose to avoid this, we can get lost here. We can descend here, right? Also, sometimes we use the light as an avoidant to avoid looking at and facing the bigger obstacle. We hide behind the love and light philosophy, the concept I hear a lot in the spiritual community. Love and light, always love and light, love and light. And that's very powerful. I am a worker of light. I love the light. Oh my gosh, I love the light. I love working with that type of energy. It's beautiful. It's my true essence. But we're here to use this energy for this. But if you do not have a greater understanding of how to use this inner power, this inner light, you'll be hypnotized by it. And it'll take you away from the bigger picture. You know, everyone, another thing I hear in the community is, you know, the whole love and light, love and light, love and light. But you have to ground yourself. You have to be neutral. You have to be balanced in these types of energies. If you go one way, if you go too deep one way, you become lost. If you go the other way, you become ungrounded. You know, you're too light, right? You're just it's almost like a spiritual high. You know, this blissful type of energy. It's very like when you start tuning into the higher dimensions of your consciousness, it's almost like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing here? Why am I here on this earth? And here, this energy could be too heavy, too much, you know, too much suffering, too much looking back. not moving forward. You make yourself small in the shadow, you know? And so there's this dance. That's why my saying is embrace. Embrace and expand and evolve. So embrace that energy, embrace the unknown, expand your light to evolve your human being. So then this obstacle becomes you. You neutralize this obstacle to the point where it's you that's walking. This is you walking through this portal, not something that's outside yourself that's blocking you. So it's just incredibly important that I get that message across, because a lot of the time we think, you know, it personally, I've been dealing with self-sabotage and what that means, and the role that plays in my path. We all deal with it. It's so easy to, when you have this beautiful doorway and you're like, ooh, what a wonderful opportunity, I'm ready to walk through, and then boop, you have this energy blocking you, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be there. So you go through your mind on all the reasons why this thing is keeping you from doing what you need to do, keeping you from evolving, keeping you from expanding your light, embracing the mystery of life. And so this here, it's almost like when you meet and greet this energy, it's saying, hey, you need to you need to be in the space of awareness and acceptance. I am here to teach you. I am here to help you evolve. Don't run away from me and don't avoid me. And this is what this whole energy is for, the three, right? 1, 2, 3, the 3 pillars. And again, you know, it ties in with my name, Silvertree, okay? Trees, I see the forest. We all have my subconscious mind, I like to imagine a forest, okay? And sometimes, you know, you have to go through that shadowy part, the darkness where you're lost, you're confused, there's twigs everywhere. I'm thinking of the scene from Beauty and the Beast, or no, Snow White, and she's going through the forest and the trees are just kind of like snagging at her and grabbing at her, right? And she's like trying to make it through, and her dress is all torn up, and then she slowly reaches a space of complete and utter exhaustion. She's given up. She stopped fighting her subconscious mind, because those stories, whenever there's a woman, okay, who gets lost in the woods, gets lost in the forest, in deep, dark, scary looking forest, scary looking trees, and there's scary faces in the trees and all that. That is her subconscious mind. And her freak out is like, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh, I'm so lost. Oh, everything is attacking her, right? Because she's avoided parts of herself for so long. That's what happens when the subconscious mind, you have these aspects of yourself that are starved for attention, for love, for acceptance, for that light. But we hoard that light and we don't want to share it. We don't want to give it. We don't want to shed light. We don't want to balance this energy. So imagine a girl, a young woman, running through the trees, just running and running, and all there is just darkness and confusion, and she's running ragged in her own space, because her subconscious mind is her. It's a reflection of her. So it's a reflection of her own confusion, her own darkness and shadow and you know, negativity. And so she's running around in circles. Her hair becomes matted. She becomes this wild woman, right? Until she completely falls over into a deep sleep. If I can recall, Snow White enters so she's completely like just tired. She enters into the space of the 7 doors, right? Which is the 7 concepts of her consciousness, okay, or 7 levels of her consciousness, all right? That represents her moods. You know, you have grumpy, snoopy, doopy, you know, all of them, but they're all reflections, all shattered reflections of herself, okay? And So she enters into a sleep. She falls into their bed. She's so tired, just so exhausted, right? And then these aspects of herself, the 7 dwarves, they one by one, even Grumpy, one by one, they form a bond with her. Remember when I mentioned the bond, the energy cord? They reconnect with her. These her 7 aspects of herself, that have been fragmented, they become one with her again. And so she leaves, she becomes more confident. They love her. She loves them. They sing. There's music. There's butterflies and birds everywhere. And she's just in the forest. It becomes one with her again. Not this deep, dark, scraggly, the branches are like hands just grabbing at her. No, everything is in unison with her because she's in unison with herself. She's in unison with her shadow. And and thus this awareness, this middle part of the forest, she's aware. She becomes aware of oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. She has a sense of self and balance, right? She's happy, and thus she feels lighter. So her subconscious mind is not declaring war on her, and this is also I'm gonna branch off here a little bit. If you think about cancers, right? When the body attacks itself, the cells begin to eat at the body. So it's almost that dis-ease in a way is a reflection of the subconscious mind. If you think about it in a higher level, okay? I know it's kind of an odd outside of the box way of looking at diseases, but that's how I look at, imbalances of the physical form. But it's almost like that the subconscious mind can at times do that to you, where, these diseases of the physical form are a reflection of the neglect or avoidance with the relationship with you and your own psyche. So I'm going to branch back into the story of Snow White. So she then enters into this higher aspect where things are becoming more unified. And then when she meets the queen, the one, gosh, I haven't watched that movie in such a long time, but there's a queen out to get her, like who's the fairest of them all? And it's, Snow White. And the queen is, she's in her own evil, okay? And she's consumed by her shadow. But Snow White, the love that Snow White has, and I think there's a prince that wakes her up after she bites the apple, the forbidden fruit. Okay, but her another higher aspect of herself comes in the form of a prince, right? And the prince gives her the kiss, the very powerful kiss of life, or breath of life, really. I mean, I don't know. It might have been just a piece of the apple got stuck in her throat. She passed out for a while. I don't know. And, he kisses her and like breathes, I maybe shifted some things and she woke up. Okay. But my point is that the prince comes and he kisses her, he embraces her, and she reawakens. So it's almost like that sleep, that slumber that she went into, because at first, the first slumber was complete exhaustion, right? She's just completely exhausted from running from herself. Then the second part, after she bites, after she's unified with her seven aspects of her consciousness, the 7 dwarves, they fall in love with her. She falls in love with them. She becomes more unified. The birds sing with her, like the butterflies, the deers, like, checking her out, sitting right next to her. Everything's becoming more at one. Then she's ready for an initiation. And that's when the evil witch comes with the apple, the fruit, right? Forbidden knowledge, Adam and Eve, that story. It's biblical. But she comes with the fruit. And Snow White bites it. She bites into the fruit. into the forbidden knowledge, and then she drops into a deep slumber the second time. But this time it's a rebirth. It's a form of she's transforming. She is transitioning into true oneness, right? And so again, the first pillar represents life. Okay? Life is harsh at times, very. Especially well in this realm and on this planet. Oh my goodness. The vibration is very heavy and very dense. You know, you go in and out trying to do the best you can, trying to make good decisions for yourself, and then just these blocks will just boom, 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 one after another just blocks you. And you're like, why? You know? And then we have the second pillar, death, right? And I'm not saying life is like awful and horrible. I'm just saying, like, you know, in the arena of what I'm speaking about as far as the shadow aspects of self, okay? When we're dealing with the subconscious mind, then you have the death, right? You are spent. You have nothing else to give. You've given everything you've got. You've used all your resources. And in this space of death is the ultimate surrendering, the ultimate opening, the ultimate embracing of the mystery of all that is. And then the third pillar is the rebirth. So if you loosely, I'm just using the story of Snow White very loosely here, but if you're like, if you can make the connections of the life, death, rebirth cycle, right? And then here you are, the light, okay? And then as a spiritual student, okay, or as an adept, right? An adept is someone who I believe is a master, right, at something. But you take all that what you've gone through in this mad forest, right? The beautiful life, and then the death, and then the rebirth. You then take it and you share it with those that are stuck here. Use your light. Use it where it's needed. That is so critical as a light worker, to my light workers out there. I'm not saying go out of your way and look for shadow, because don't do that. Don't do that. Be in the space of supreme guidance, right? Supreme loving guidance, because believe me, if you look for it, it will find you. Whatever you seek, seeks you. So be mindful and heartful of that. I'm not saying go out there and go save the world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you hear the call, okay, to expand your light, to help someone evolve, do so. That, I think, is one of the weakest links in the spiritual community, where I just, video after video, talk after talk, energy circle after energy circle, I just hear so many people saying, love and light, love and light, love and light, yeah, woo. And I'm like, okay, so yes, but we're here to use the light we have here. Obviously, don't let people walk all over you, you know. And some people are like, oh, don't let people steal your light. Oh, they're energy vampires. No, no one can take your energy. No one can take your power. No one can take that from you. You have to allow that. You have to give it away by choice. And it takes a lot of lessons. These pillars are lessons as well. Lessons of life, lessons of death, lessons of rebirth. Constantly, and we're always constantly will have to go and replay this program over and over and over and over again. It's evolution. We're constantly shedding our skin. We're constantly evolving. You know, that's why I don't really get too caught up in the whole ascension game. Like, oh, like we're ascending into like the higher, like for me, if you, whatever goes up must come down. Be in the space of balance and neutrality. know you. Know who you are. You know, don't shy away from your demons over here. Don't do that. No. You take the light that you have within yourself and you shine that, like you blast it with love. You blast it with light. You blast it with awareness. You blast it with acceptance. Thus, then you can face the energy here. This is, I think, probably one of the most important things I feel in my heart I've ever shared really so far during these rune readings. But I mean, I feel it within my own life, in my own path right now, but it's serious, you know? It's very, very serious concept, the life, death, rebirth cycle as a light worker. You just, you know, you can't conserve all this energy, beautiful energy here just to avoid this here. And then to avoid this here. That's not why we manifested into the physical, my light workers. Not at all. So I think that's all I'm going to share. And I'm going to pull, how many runes should I pull, source? Okay, so I'm going to pull 3, okay, for the 3 energies. The moon energy and the subconscious mind, the energy or block here, okay, which I'm going to say is potential, all right, and then the sun. So let's see, what is the obstacle? What is the potential? It could be a potential or obstacle, right? Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. I'll show you what that is. So this is it looks like the letter B, okay? And that's very symbolic for joy, pleasure, okay? Very good energy, positive energy. And, oh, here, this kept coming up for me the past couple of days. This is a circle that is broken, okay? So a cycle that is broken, and then in the middle, there's a new path, okay? That's for our moon energy. And then here, energy, literally. But it can also represent the crown, okay? Very interesting. Okay, so very quickly here. So this, the B stands for really good, positive, beautiful, beautiful energy. If you are balanced here, okay, if you bring these two, your light and shadow aspects, or not aspects, but your light and shadow energies into balance. Ooh, B. That I got it now. B stands for balance. So bring the way to face your block or your obstacle is to bring these superpowers into balance, into oneness, so that you can walk through this door with pride and with just trust and faith in all that is, in source, or whoever you choose to call your God. But yeah, so this is very good energy. And then here, so a breaking of a cycle of the old to make a new path for the new. But you have to face it here. You have to face this, okay? And then the E for energy, so going in the right direction, okay? So making a new path so that you can go in the right direction, but use this energy of light, okay? Use it. I can't stress this any more, okay, than I am right now. Use your light energy at this time to get you through. Bring this here. Make your new path, okay? Bring it, unite, neutralize the shadow and light energies within yourself. Bring them into balance to neutralize whatever block is in your life right now. Whatever that energy, this energy is, because there's something beautiful through this door, through this portal right here. This rectangle you see, there's something there, but you must be balanced. These energies gotta be balanced. Okay, so that's my message for you today. Thank you so much for listening. If you've made it through 40 minutes, I apologize for this being a little late. Again, I was going through my own personal tower moment. So I'm a bit late, a little behind, but I feel so grateful that I did this reading, and I hope, may this message reach whoever it needs to. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Also, I have a second YouTube channel where I post music that I compose, and I'm also in the middle of setting up my website as well. And yeah, there's many things in store for this year. I'm really excited to share that with you. So thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. Please.